Hello. This is John S. Rhodes of the Rhodes Brothers. And if you are having trouble manifesting money right now, I'm going to explain exactly what is going on and how you can overcome the challenge, the problem, the situation so that you can manifest money as you wish, as you desire, and perhaps as you deserve. This is greater wealth through mastery. And you now know the topic of the conversation, and we're going to dive right in. I will tell you that money manifestation is very likely to work. I cannot guarantee it, but I can tell you that many times where I have attempted to manifest money, it has worked. Maybe not exactly as I expected, maybe not in the fashion that made sense to me, maybe not even in the time frame that I wanted. However, money manifestation taps into something that we're going to talk about so that you can gain maximum value, maximum opportunity in your life, in the here and now, and into the future as well. It's very exciting. So let's start. Money manifestation can work. First, you must believe this. If you don't believe that you can manifest money, then this will not work for you. You will have an immediate blocker, and no matter what you do, if you don't believe it can work or you think it's chance or it's luck, it will not work. That's full stop true. The power of manifestation really comes from belief. Okay, so we have other videos on the topic of money, manifesting money, and you can find those on the Rhodes Brothers channel. Also, if you're looking for more information about how you can get started making money, and of course, utilizing artificial intelligence and doing so much more, just check out the description below. Okay, so this is the true problem. We're going to cut right to it. The problem is a lack of vision. Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute, I know what I want more money. Well, is that really true? Very often, people who are trying to manifest money are actually trying to manifest a certain outcome related to the power of money, or having money gives them the ability to get what they want. Money for the mortgage, money to help out a family member, money to begin a business, money to invest. And this is the secret. Here is the problem. Again, you're not trying to manifest a stack of $100 bills. That is quite unlikely. It's not impossible, but it is unlikely. Therefore, it is far better to manifest money in relation to the end result that you're ultimately looking for. And what this comes down to is a lack of vision, the big picture, the lack of the perspective of what the money is for and what it means to you, what it means to those around you, what it means to your life as a whole, even what it means to the universe. When we manifest money, we're actually collecting the energy from around us, not just friends, not just ourselves, but the actual universe. Now, you may or may not believe this. If you don't believe this, manifesting money simply will not work. But if you do believe that there is abundance, if you do believe that you can trade value for value, you create, you provide value, you are perhaps an entrepreneur, you put in the time, the sweat equity, you are creating, doing, acting in the here and now and into the future. And as a result, other people will provide you with money. And then you can use that money for the end result that you actually care about. But again, the key here is lack of vision. See, when we focus specifically on money, we're focused on the wrong thing. We're focused on what would amount to a simple object, stacks of paper, perhaps digits, numbers that are in a bank account. Those merely represent the actual value that you would like to have. Now, you're not working for zeros and ones. You're not working for paper. You're not working for shiny pieces of metal. You're working and you're putting the time in and you're trying to manifest an outcome that is beneficial to yourself and very likely those around you. And again, this comes down to a lack of perspective by way of a lack of vision. What is it that you really want? What is the grand scheme? It's like people say, oh, I really want freedom. Well, freedom from what? Or freedom to do what you want. So you might want to escape when you say freedom, right? Escape the 9 to 5. Escape the hard client work. Escape the situation. Escape the meaningless life. That's escaping from. And those things can be noble, they can be useful, very worthwhile, but perhaps instead of escaping from, you are actually trying to escape to. So freedom is escaping to. It's creating. It's more abundance minded, right? So escaping from tends to be more narrow, but having freedom to do something is escaping to a better place. One is more passive, one is more active. Which one do you think is better for manifestation? And in particular, money manifestation. It's pretty obvious, right? That you're trying to achieve a certain kind of freedom, a certain kind of feeling. That's another hint as well. And you're trying to escape and then make it to, with freedom, something that is bigger and more full in nature. I think you understand this quite deeply. You actually understand down to your core the importance of having the proper vision. If the vision isn't there, you cannot succeed. Now, there is more. Vision alone simply won't get you to where you want to be in the now or in the future. Certainly not in the past because that is behind you. However, to reach the vision, it's very likely that you will have a goal or multiple goals along the way. So, are you trying to manifest the big picture, the vision? Perhaps, perhaps not. Maybe you are trying to manifest or not manifest steps along the way. In other words, the scope of the manifestation is very, very important. So you need to have the vision and you need to have belief and you need to be expansive. You need to look outward and you need to look inward, and it needs to be very, very big. Vision needs to be tremendous. It needs to be spectacular. And then the goals along the way, there's never one goal. There are goals along the way to achieve the vision, and you can manifest money even, or better, manifest what the money buys you along the way. So those things, those experiences, those people even, that's the goal along the way. One goal after another, just like that. And you focus on the right goal with reference to the big vision. Very important. Another thing with a lack of money manifestation working for you in the here and the now is there's a lack of why. Why does that vision matter to you? I gave you an indication of one of those things that people are usually looking for. They're looking for some kind of freedom, freedom from stress and frustration. Again, that's very, very reasonable. Or freedom to do what they want, when they want, how they want. That's an idea. That is a why. The why matters. If you don't have the why, then you will not be able to manifest. You will not be able to dream the right dream. You will not be able to feel the right emotions, which I'll talk about in a moment. Without a why, you will fall into the trap of the what. And this is not good. The what is a very, very specific thing, and it may not be what you expect it to be. Like I said, I have done money manifestation over the years, and I've been very, very successful as a result. Because if nothing else, it orients me, it guides me, it pushes me. It gives me a new perspective on what wealth is, what money buys, what it does. And it comes to me when I am most open-minded, when my vision is in place, when I know what my goals are, and I'm not focused on the what. It is not bad to have money manifestation come about by way of, let's say, a Lamborghini or a trip to Disney World, anything like that. You can pick your poison, so to speak. But you'll notice that having a Lamborghini is probably not what you actually want. You want what the Lamborghini provides to you. Maybe it's attractive women. Maybe it's feeling youthful. Maybe it is feeling the raw power, the energy that you have created, and now it's manifested in the real world. And there's a real engine. There's real wheels touching the ground. And maybe you want that feeling back because you've lost feeling in the world. You've lost connection. Like the tires on the road, you've lost the connection. And you see what we're doing here is by thinking big picture, thinking of the actual vision that we have, and we know our deep why, the emotional deep why, the heart-centered why. This is what's critical. The components that make up the big vision are very unlikely to be actual cash dollars. Those are the mechanisms. In other words, the dollars, the zeros and ones in the bank account, that's a conduit. It's a mechanism. But in terms of manifesting, you need to be thinking about what it means. And again, that's tied to the vision and it's tied to your why. And another thing is when people try to manifest money, when they try to manifest even goals or objects along the way or relationships and so on, when they try to manifest right the wrong way, what'll happen is they get bogged down in trying to solve the problem, or they try to solve the problems. So there's a barrier, an obstacle. There's a wanting or a longing. Why can't I? Think about that. Why can't I get the job promotion? My vision is to get a job promotion. And then it is focused on the what? Getting a job promotion. But the why is missing. And the focus on money manifestation in that case is getting the job. Getting the job. And if you think about that, you're trying to solve the problem of getting a better job. But that's not the big picture. That's not the vision. Getting a new job, getting a new business started is different than getting a promotion. These are not the same things. But two of those three might be better than the other. They might all be equal. I don't know. It depends on you and your goals and your why and your vision. You've got to think big. When people say think big, this is exactly what they mean. It is the vision, it is the why, it is the goals along the way, the big goals down to the small goals. But the goals don't tell you how. The goals don't tell you how. Part of manifestation is that the how will reveal itself. Don't try to get the how. Don't try to claw your way to the how. The manifestation comes to you. The how is revealed. But if you try to solve by way of money manifestation, if you try to solve the problem, you are actually creating more problems for yourself and you're slowing down the actual money manifestation process. And people very much, as a result of doing this, trying to solve, they dwell on the how. And how is not a money manifestation aspect. It's not something that you're trying to do. You're not trying to understand the how. The how will be revealed. And this is part of the big game. Okay, now the last little part here is I'm going to summarize and then we will continue. But I'm going to summarize by saying you really need to know thyself. You need to know yourself. You need to know what you want, who you are, your why, and the vision. This is deep work. This is not simple. This is not something that you can do willy-nilly. This is not something that others can do for you. They can help you. You can find guides and Sherpas. You can get coaching. You can read books. You can watch videos. The Rhodes brothers can assist you, but it will not be all of the work. It will not be all of the manifestation. The how will be revealed, but until you know yourself, your vision will be very fuzzy. It will not be clear. Know yourself first and know your why. Do the deep work to know your why. Another thing, I've already mentioned it, but we must state it again. You need to let go of how. You need to actively let go of how. The reason you don't have what you want is because you are trying to figure out how. Let me tell you something. Plenty of people that are in your life or will be coming into your life will know how. You don't need to know how to get what you want. Who is far superior to how? Who is far superior to how? There's much more value, much more net worth in your network, your collaborations with others, friends, family, new people that you meet. They know how. There are an infinite number or near infinite number of hows available to you through a small handful of whos. If you need to understand that, rewind, listen again. Who is more important than how? This applies to you helping others manifest as well. In other words, the value that you provide, the who, which is you, the value that you provide is very likely the way that the how comes back to you through another who. Let me say this another way. When you help other people, they will help you. When you are manifesting in the real world value for other people, the value will come back to you, very often multiplied, and much more valuable to you than what you think you could have ever provided in value or what you did provide in value, which should always drive you forward to provide more value. You can manifest what you want by focusing on how you can provide value to other people, which is a virtuous circle. So money manifestation very often comes from a simple act of focusing on how you can provide more value to people. And that's the only how that might make sense to focus on. If I want to manifest money, how can I provide value to others? Otherwise, know yourself, know your goals, know your why, and do that inner work. The outer work, at most, in this case, for money manifestation, is what value can I provide to other people so that they will transact with me, love me, spend time with me, and just do business if you're thinking about money. More about that in a future video. Another thing here in terms of our summary is that you must assume nothing. You are a beginner, the beginner's mind. You must assume that anything can and very likely will happen. Whatever you planned yesterday is very, very unlikely to transpire today. Whatever you plan today is very unlikely to transpire tomorrow. And when I say transpire, I'm specifically talking about if you have a goal or a plan or ideas or to-do list, it all goes to hell. As soon as you hit the battlefield, as soon as you start work, as soon as you try to get going, something will get in your way. You will get distracted. You will not be able to go quite as long as you would like. And if you do get as far as you would like, well, guess what? Let's say you spent 4 hours in monk mode. And if you did that, then likely what happened is whatever else was on your to-do list, whatever else you plan on getting done, during those 4 hours, probably something happened. Probably something unexpected happened. SHTF, right? It hits the fan. So it's very likely that the longer that you focus on something, the more likely that things are going to go sideways and crazy. The whole point, the entire point of this is you have to assume nothing. Planning is critical. Knowing yourself is critical. Knowing your why is critical because those orient you always. It's like a lighthouse. It's like a flag on the top of the mountain. Orientation. You're always moving in that direction or that direction, and you know directionally what's going on. In the military, they call this commander's intent. What does the commander intend for you to do? Now, you might not do what he says exactly, the how, but ultimately, if the job is to take the mountain, you know that you're, by guess and by golly, your job is to take the mountain, take the top of the hill. But you might not do it exactly as planned. And that is the essence. Commander's intent is the very essence of assuming nothing. I love a book by Bob Proctor called You Were Born Rich. So from day one, you were born rich. You have all the wealth that you could ever want. It's just your job to go out there and find it. But here's the thing. Here's what I think Bob sort of kind of missed. It's the value creation that is the mechanism. It's the radar. It is the attractor. It's the magnet. It's the black hole of gravity that pulls. The value creation in the world for the sake of other people ultimately is part of, if not the entirety of, the manifestation process. Once you know your why, once the vision is so clear in your mind and you know yourself, if you're not getting what you want, and in particular, if you're not manifesting money now, start at the top. Start with who you are. Start with the why. Start with the biggest vision that you possibly can. The very last piece of this is it's not empirical. It's not data. It's not logic. It's so easy to fall in the trap of this world, of this life, of what we've been taught, of the education system, of what the government wants us to do, and so on and so forth. It's so easy to focus on the very material and physical world. Even talking about money forces this, thrusts this upon us. You know that? I know that. Therefore, the key when you're doing all of this in terms of intent and in terms of feelings, in terms of tone, it's about the emotions. It's very much about heart-centered activity. When you're trying to figure out your why, when you're trying to understand your vision, when you're trying to even put together the value you're going to create for other people, it's got to come from the heart. People talk about passion. They use the word passion. They bandy it about. They throw it out like crazy. Passion, passion, passion. Passion means nothing. I can be very emotional and show passion, but for the exact wrong reasons, to the exact wrong people, at the exact wrong time. It's not the passion. It's the emotion as it's tied and tethered to your personal understanding, your personal vision, your why, and the value you create for other people who have their vision. You see, it's vision to vision. It's your vision and the vision of others, the vision of one other person at a time. That is the heart-centered approach. It's not woo-woo. It's not pie in the sky. It's not something that you can't understand. You do know yourself better than you think you do. You know your why better than you think you do. And if you don't, if you're looking for tools and help, post a comment below. I would love to talk about that in a future video. But for now, just remember to make this concrete, add emotion. If you want to manifest money, you need to be thinking about money from an emotional, positive emotional perspective. Your vision, your why should be positive emotions layered on positive emotions. And even the value creation, what you're building for other people, what you're doing for other people, the value creation very much should have a positive affect, positive juice, if you will. Now, this should wholly and completely help you understand exactly why money manifestation now is not happening. And you know exactly what is preventing you from getting everything that you want and desire. There you have it. And in fact, what I will say is we have several other videos. There's actually one on the screen right now that will help you achieve the breakthrough that you are looking for. I promise that when you follow that video that you see there on the screen, when you do that, you will understand and you will better be able to manifest than you ever have before. You will achieve at least one small, if not one very large breakthrough, but you have to go to the next video. That said, what do you think? Does this fit with your experience? Has this clarified what is going on in your life? By all means, please subscribe to the channel. Also, please forward this video to someone who you think might get value from it, because it's from referrals from people like you that help the channel grow, and we're able to provide way more value to way more people when people just like you take action and forward these teachings and trainings. I'm John S. Rhodes of the Rhodes Brothers, and please be sure to follow that video you see on the screen. Take care.